Hello, friends. It is your favorite Scrum Master here in Bingham. And if I'm not your favorite Scrum Master yet, don't worry about it because by the time I'm done sharing this tip, you're going to love me. Okay, today's discussion is really to focus on how I track retrospective action items. And it's as simple as literally I create an epic for the quarter, each quarter, and put acceptance criteria there, put description there of what is expected or what we're trying to achieve or what the problem we're trying to solve. And the acceptance criteria really are just like expectation for us to complete the epic. And then each time we have retrospective, I create a user story on the board. And then I assign it to the person who had volunteered to take action for it, right? And then I ping them, I ask them, hey, I added some description there and acceptance criteria. Look at it if there's anything different from what we discussed, right? The acceptance criteria and description is really based on the conversations we had. I'm not adding anything from my own perspective or my own agenda. It's just literally what we talked about. And I put it there. What's really good for that, it helps with visibility. And we check it every other day. We don't check it all the time, right? But there's visibility there to make sure, hold the team accountable for the person, especially who said they want to do that. One of the action items that came out of our last retro was that the team felt like they wanted to be better with documentation, which documentation is part of our definition of ready. But lately, because the rate in which we've been working has been faster than usual, so there's documentations that have been skipped because we want to get to working software, focus on working software over comprehensive documentation, right? But now they're backtracking and saying we need to do that. So I just created what was the problem we're trying to solve, and then the action that they want to take is that they want to. So the person who somebody was like, oh, I'll take lead and make sure that we can review the documentations that we have as far as like what is needed, and then they can focus on that. So that was an action item. So they end up, before we get to backlog refinement, I think on Monday, most of the team members already created some stuff that they've already reviewed on their own and then put it there as far as like what they want to make sure that they're tracking for when we push the prod, and they'll be able to, make sure that everything is done as it should. So that's like one way in which it's being used. At least that's what I'm using it for. And it's easier to bring this. I used to do it in Mail, but then it was just a lot, right? Like we spend most of our time on Jira, so it just had a lot more visibility, and we have the necessary conversation if we know it's not going to get done ahead of time versus trying to wait later on to check in. So that is how personally I have done it. I don't know how other people are doing it, but I just shared, of course, to give perspective if that's something you might want to try. Another thing that I think I need to do a video on is how you're doing with your growth items from Agility Health. If you don't know what Agility Health is, I would say this is a good time to Google search what Agility Health is before the next time we meet. Okay, I'm done. All right, I hope this was helpful. Have a good one. Bye.